welcome in. Hello, Christy. Welcome. Hi, Pickles. Hi, Nietzsche. Welcome in, everyone. Oh, look, thank you. Loki's giving everybody his mangled, poor Tickle Me Elmo that no longer tickles. Okay, you're going to take it away now? Good job. Good morning, Cajun, honey. Good morning. Hi, Christy. Hello. Absolute Flipping Deals. Rodney's. What's up? I'm feeling a touch better. Thank you. It's thrifted. I can't remember the make. Ooh, can we see? I can't remember. Well, I can't see. Anyways, it's a little bit, if I lift my arms up in the air, I have to keep pulling it back down again. I didn't try the cognac because I don't drink. So oh wait, you were going to drink the cognac for me. No. Rodney says it's minus 48 this morning in Manitoba. That's cold. Rodney, stay inside and put on layers. Lots and lots of layers. That's very cold. What is it here? Hang on. Let me check. I have it in, it's in Fahrenheit, it's 5 degrees. Again, my phone. Amaze Greco. Good morning. Nick, good morning. Welcome in. So feel free to ask your questions, share your shows. Let me switch from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So it's minus 13. Minus 13 here. Mostly cloudy. Minus 13. Oh, shoot. Hang on. We're all going for it's 1 degree where Pickles is. Minus 30. Cassie has minus 30. Plus 31 for Sarsaparilla. Plus 31 Fahrenheit. Minus 29 where Christy is. Oh, we're supposed to go down to minus 22, I think. Christy in Alberta. Megahertz, good morning. We're all saying how cold it is where we are. So it's minus 13 right now where I am. I need to make more tea. I forgot to make tea before I started. So hang on, everyone. Priorities here. You wish you had all those forecasts. I know. It is beyond frozen where Rodney is. Minus 48. What's the wind chill then? Minus 10 in Quebec. Holy cow, Duchess. It's minus 43 for megahertz too. I mean, megahertz is pretty much up there by Manitoba. Minus 13 where Nick is, so same as me. Rip Avexo. Good morning, bonjour. Tammy, hello. Bounty, hello. Who else did I miss? Baseballcardstore.ca, what's up? That sound you're hearing is not me going. That's I'm making tea. You have questions? Ask questions. We're gonna be chatting with Duchess Thrifts in about 15 minutes or so. We could be neighbors. I'm near Hastings, so 35 minutes from Peterborough. Oh, you're in Peterborough, so you're 35 minutes away from me. You're nearly Manitoba. Okay, hang on. I'm just standing away from the Keurig so it doesn't sound like I'm going to the washroom. You're from Peterborough originally? How cool is that? There's so many great vintage stores in Peterborough. I don't go to them much. There's the snow outside. Can you see the snow outside? Mm-hmm. I don't go to them much because I'd spend too much money. Every time I walk into one of those stores, I leave poor. So I determined to stop doing it. But there's some really great stores. Hang on. We got to put some honey in my tea. Very important. Local honey. Oh. Actually, is it a little creepy? This honey is from a farm that's right beside my father's graveyard. It's actually ancestral lands of ours. I mean, technically, I'm not ancestral. Settlement lands. Ancestral is the wrong word. I apologize. Settlement lands. My ancestors settled there. And now it makes honey. And whatever else they make. You're going to the thrift store in Madoc today? That's one of my favorite thrift stores. The good stuff is on the bottom shelves. Just saying. is true. In that place, the good stuff is all on the bottom shelf. I'm very jealous, Donna. I know. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. But so if I get everyone to pick up, can I? If you get everyone to pick up and bypass whatnot shipping, technically you are going against terms of service. That's all I can say. The fees that you pay for are the payment processing fees that you're trying to avoid. But if your buyers have any issues with what they purchased, they have no recourse. So obviously I don't recommend things that go against the guidelines, but lots of people are doing it and seem to be getting away with it. So, oh, thank you. Loki just gave me this. I'm supposed to show you the Trump. Thank you. Here you go. You can have it back now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just can't. I can't recommend that. Ow! That's enough. I am not playing with Trump today or any day. No, go take it away. Stop. Nobody wants to see Trump anymore. No, we're done. We're done. Go take him away. Yeah. So I mean, seriously, baseball cards. So what I'll say is, people are doing it and getting away with it, and it's up to you. Oh no, that's enough. Now you're spilling my tea. That's like, now that's it. You've done it. You need to go sit down. No more playtime. Go lie down. We're all done play. No more. Nope, all done play. No. Okay, I'm keeping him. Thank you. I'm keeping him. Okay, so the rat earrings. Hi, Jake's closet. Yes, no, Loki. That's enough. Stop. You're gonna knock over the tea, and it's gonna become an emergency. I know, scissor earring. I love the scissor earrings. They actually look really cool on. I love you too, Jake's closet. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Hi, Shauna. Welcome in, everybody. He does have too much energy. It's because I didn't let them stay outside for too long because of, cold. I guess they're dogs, so I guess they're born in. If I look at it as a privilege we have, and if they take it away, I'm keeping it. Ooh, that's a good point. Okay, hang on. Oh. All right. Okay, where were we? Right. So good morning, everybody. Welcome in. So Loki, I don't want to play with any toys. Zero toy. All right, I'm putting up a barrier so he can't get to me. Good morning, Mia Vida. There's now like a box barrier surrounding me so that he hopefully can't get to me, and he'll go play with the dog. I mean, we have extra dogs to play with. Go play with a dog. Come to my new podcast in the near future where I talk about what makes me crazy. Your husky does that too? Yeah, he's just full of beans. And I mean, we're slightly off schedule, right? I'm an hour later than usual. So by now they've actually got I'm usually done pretty soon. Jake's Closet, what did you miss about the shipping and the fees? Basically, I was just talking about a tactic that some people are using that gets around shipping, whatnot shipping, but it is against terms of service. So I just won't repeat it. I'll just say I recommend just trying to work within the system as much as possible. That's what I try to do. But there are people like, I don't even know. Hang on. I got to check. I didn't check this. Normally I go in and check to see whether this person is still live. Hang on. Yep. Still live. And still live. Selling when they go live, but this is day 27 of them just streaming 24 hours a day and not actually selling. There's nothing even in the buy it now. There's nothing in the store. They play their own videos because there's some sort of band. And sometimes you get to watch them sleep, but I guess not today. You don't get to watch them sleep. And it's been reported a cajillion times, but nothing's being done. So I guess there's a new I'm waiting for the new definition of dead stream. I said what I said. I'm waiting for the new definition of dead stream, because if having people watch you sleep while you don't sell and nobody's looking after the chat, you don't even have mods. Country roads take me home. Hello. It is weird, but to each his own. And if that's what the direction that Whatnot wants to go, all the power. Oh yeah. I have these because I do community chats almost every day. So Holly Med, good morning. Anyways, so ask your questions. We're at about Duchess, if you're okay, around quarter after. Hey Melody, at about quarter after is when I will bring you on. Do I have any tips for getting more viewers and sales? Oh, absolutely. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, which is the Red Rooster CA, I actually have videos. I have a 3-part video because I did a 3-hour-long show about how to attract buyers to your shows, how to attract new buyers to your shows. And so it is 3 hours. So I split it up into 3 parts. So you can watch that. Can I give a quick summary? I cannot, because it's 3 hours long, which is why I'm like, go to my YouTube channel, because it's 3 hours long. And that's 3 hours long with me editing and taking out pieces of it where I squirrel off into different directions. So I also have, if you go to the live section of my videos, I've got Ship Like a Pro, Whatnot Canada. I have the top 10 mistakes that Whatnot sellers make, and what to do instead. I have all about raid trains. I have January sales on Whatnot, even though January's almost over, but why sales change at this time of year and how to deal with that. I've got a goal setting guide for Whatnot sellers, and there's free resources down below. What else do I have on here? I have a lot. There's a lot, but yeah. And then every day I'm on, every day, almost every day I am on Whatnot, and Tuesday, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays I do chat shows. Fridays is a special edition because we focus on fashion a little bit more. But we also just talk about Whatnot and selling and strategies and everything. How do people sell for $1 and make money? That's what I really want to know. So Jake's Closet, that's one that would be in one of the top 10 mistakes that Whatnot sellers make when they first start, and what to do instead. So my recommendation to that is you don't do $1 starts. And the people who do $1 starts are either losing money or they already have a big following. If you have a big following already, then yeah, if you want to make only 31 cents, fine. But and that's not because Whatnot takes 70%. Like, that's the thing, is you'll hear people say Whatnot takes more than 8%, blah 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 blah. Well, it's 8% commission plus 2.9% payment processing fee, as well as a 30-cent per item payment processing fee. That payment processing fee is something that is across the board. It costs them money. They're just passing on that cost. They're not making anything off of us from that. If they'd do something like it's $1 payment processing fee, right? Like they don't make, that's not where they're making their money. They're making their money off of the commission. So dollar starts are for companies that can afford to sell things for basically free. Closet Cove asks, any recommendations or tips for your first show? I'm looking to start one soon. So the best thing you can do is be in shows like this to learn from other sellers. I'm going to be interviewing the wonderful Duchess Vintage in a minute. Melody, are you able to come on for just 5 minutes to do an intro? Let me know if you are. Perfect. Okay. And just make sure that you have all the equipment you need. And I talk about that in my shipping video that's on my YouTube channel under lives. And yes, thank you, Megahertz. And speaking of saving dollars, remember to book your big show on the 7th of next month, February 7th and 8th, for 24 hours prior to the kickoff of Super Bowl. It's going to be 4% commission instead of 8% commission. So you're going to save money. This is an annual thing that Whatnot does, where it is and they've been, God, this is like the third year for me, third time. Yeah, this will be the third time for me. And the first time that it was 0%, but now it's 4%. This year and last year it's 4%. So you can find more details. Look in your email. You would, if you're already signed up as a seller, you will have received an email from Whatnot yesterday. On Black Friday, they do 0% commission. They have in the past. Hopefully they will again in 2026. Black Friday is huge for them. They did huge sales. It brings in a lot of people. Sometimes they might do something for Canada Day for Canadians. I don't know. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Come on. I can't even wink anymore. I'm too old to wink. Fork. Oh, God, I hate getting old. Hey, shop with Tasha. So definitely I would look into that. Okay. All right. And I don't have a lot in my, I don't have anything in my store right now, but there's a new feature that Melody and I are testing. We're part of a very small test group of Canadian sellers who are testing a new feature, which hopefully is going to roll out in the not too distant future. We don't know when that future is, but hopefully in the not too distant future, we will all have this weekly bundling. And it's where for the entire week from Monday to Sunday at midnight, one box for all items that you buy in one seller's store. When did Whatnot come to Canada? About 3.5 years ago. The shipping section on the profile was gone, but it's back again. Yeah, they may have been testing something. So it just kind of things move around sometimes. Okay, let me bring in Melody here real quick. Hopefully we'll be okay without any sound problems.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me flip ya.
Hello.
Let me flip ya. Oh no, that still didn't work. Wait, what is going on here?
There's no echo.
Hi, friends. No, I'm wearing an I'm wearing a. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. Oh no, I'm not talking to you, Loki. I'm talking to my friend Melody.
Hi, puppy.
Rude. No, sit.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. I'm not looking very fashionable today, but we are preparing for the deep freeze. I don't know if you're also getting that, Kim.
It's not as deep freeze as in Manitoba. It's minus 43, 48, and where Megahertz is, it's already minus 43.
Hi, Duchess. I'm gonna introduce you in 1 minute because Kim and I. Sorry to cut you off, Kim.
No,
we're talking about the cold.
It's really cold. It's really cold. So
why do we live in Canada?
Because our ancestors chose here,
and we don't really want to live.
My ancestors weren't criminals
right
enough
now,
to
right?
go to Australia. That's my
problem. We don't really want to live south right now, do we?
We do not want to live in the south. I wouldn't have. I always said and free healthcare. I've always said that my family should have chosen the Caribbean islands, but the only way you got a free ticket there was not really free, was it?
No, it's not.
No.
No.
My great grandmother, my grandfather's mother, actually came to Canada from Ireland as an indentured servant.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
it's
which
interesting.
not that long ago, really, if you think about it, because it's
It's
only my
not.
great grandmother. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that old that my great grandmother was like in the 1700s, but
Imagine.
okay. So Melody, tell us. So if some of you may not know, Melody and I started doing these Fashion FriYays as a way to help new sellers that are thinking about doing fashion on Whatnot, because Whatnot is doing a
Mm-hmm.
really big push right now to get
Mm-hmm.
more fashion sellers onto Whatnot Canada, which is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
so Melody and I were like, well, we need to help them. So how can we help them? So we decided to do this Fashion FriYays where I kind of do like the seller aspect and chat about seller things. And then Melody continues on that seller discussion, but also with a fashion twist that I can't
Mm-hmm.
speak that language. Um, and so Melody chooses the folks. So if you're interested in being featured on Fashion Friday, message Melody. She's already booked all the way into March. So,
Yep.
but message Melody. So Melody, tell us about who you picked for this week. I'm so excited.
So I picked my good friend Gabe, who, by the way, everybody, when Gabe comes on, I want you to congratulate her because she is a pinball wizard and champion. She is. She won a very big tournament and very important tournament last night,
Ooh.
and I think it's pretty incredible to have a lovely woman win in such a male dominated field. So that's really cool. Congratulations to you, Gabe. So I hope everybody gives her a big congratulations. Um, Basically, Gabe and I met through a store that we both are vendors at, and we became quite good friends. And then we also noticed that we work really well together. Then she started on Whatnot, and I was watching her shows, and that was at the time where I sort of took a little. If you guys don't know, I took a little bit of a break, a little hiatus from Whatnot for a little bit. But Gabe was actually one of the fashion sellers that pulled me back. I came on just to watch her
Awesome.
shows. I was so excited to see that she was on Whatnot, and she was one of the sellers that actually pulled me back. She's an amazing seller. She's got a great eye. She's a kind person. She's a good person. She's got a good heart. Her heart is always in the right place. She's an incredible person to partner with. So if you're ever looking for partnerships, she's very community minded, which is something that I always look for when I'm trying to do business with somebody. And I'm, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Gabe, better known as Duchess Vintage. Love you,
Awesome.
Gabe. Have a great show. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Melody. Okay, now I have to find you on here. There. Boop. Remove co-host. Okay. Thank you, Melody. That's awesome. All right. Gabe, are you ready? Here we go. Invite to co-host. All right. Now I can't see Gabe.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, I can't see
Can you
you.
see me?
So if you're showing something, you'll have to use descriptive video as well. If we're
Oh,
it's one of the stupid parts of the co-hosting feature is that I
okay.
can't. So
So weird. I can see
let
you.
me know if my head is cut off, folks, if I need to adjust it all, because I will adjust because I have no idea. Maybe I am. Oh, who cares? Hello. It is so nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. I've been watching your shows for a long time, so this is really fun.
A long time listener, first time caller.
Exactly.
Oh, you're wearing a kitty shirt.
Yeah, so
The
this is from
sarsaparilla.
Sass, and the pants are from Melody, actually. I'm wearing all my Whatnot purchases.
Whatnot outfit. I love that. I love when people are like, I bought this on Whatnot. Check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about like when did you start on Whatnot? and in sort of your background in reselling, or just what brought you to be selling how you are now.
Yeah, so I started selling on other platforms during the pandemic. And it was kind of just like, oh, I work from home, I live alone, I'm stuck here. And one thing that I really love is fashion. And so I started selling out of my closet. It was really fun to do listings and do styling and like photo shoots and everything. And it kind of took off. It was going really well. But at a certain point with other platforms, I was kind of starting to feel burnout. I wanted to try something different. So I started doing in-person pop-ups around Montreal.
Mhm.
And I really like doing pop-up events. It's super rewarding to like interact with your community and to meet the people that are gonna take home the clothing that you like loved and cherished. And I really, really liked doing that. But again, things kind of change, and I heard from Melody about Whatnot, and that like there was kind of some Canadian users starting up. Like I'd seen the app before, but mostly American sellers. So I
Yeah.
thought like, oh, it's maybe not feasible for me to be doing this. But I popped into a show and thought it was so cool and just kind of decided to start. And I did a bit of research because like it was a little intimidating, the whole like, oh, you're on screen, it's live auction, kind of crazy and different than a lot of other selling platforms. But I think my first show was in May of this year, so that's when I started. Yeah.
Awesome. So, what has your experience been with Whatnot, compared to other platforms? Like, what do you think are the things that are the biggest differences for your business?
Yeah, Sass, you were in my first show. You purchased from me. It made me feel so good because I was very nervous. Biggest differences. The thing I like most about Whatnot, I think, is like the live chat and the fact that like I feel like I've really gotten to know my customers on here.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
when I see the same people pop into my shows, I know what items they're gonna like. And kind of now when I curate, I think like, oh, Sass would love this. Oh, I know that Mel would love this thing. And you're kind of like thinking about these people when you curate, which is cool. But I also like one of the parts that's most fun for me is the styling aspect. So not just selling a t-shirt, but you're styling a particular item and pairing it with things and doing color matching. And I really like, the discussion in the chat of like how I would wear this, what I would wear it with. It feels really like cooperative and fun.
Mhm.
So I think like the burnout isn't really there on Whatnot because you're getting feedback live and you're having people engaging with you, whereas on some other platforms where you just take a photo, list it, and wait to see if someone likes it, you don't really get that kind of feedback, and you don't really know if people are like really loving and engaging with the things that you're curating.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Static listings, I think, are so quickly going out of, pun intended, fashion. But I think
mhm.
that people want to have that experience. They want to feel connected. They want to feel, they want to see the item move, and especially for clothing. Um, I don't know how it is for guys, but I like to see how the fabric moves when it's being held up. Like, I think that that tells me a lot, right? Like, I
Yeah,
don't want to just, a picture does nothing for me. I want to see it, and I want to be able to say, like, can you turn it around, or can you show me the sleeves again? Like, I want to be able to have that ability to ask
yeah,
questions. And you can't do that with a static list. Well, you can. I mean, you can message like an eBay seller and say, "Can you show me the sleeves?" and they just ignore you. But it's like, I want to see in real time. I want to make a quick decision, but I need more information
yeah,
first. But then there's also that, as you said, like, you connect with your customer and you get to know your customers, and then your that vibe of those customers, and your like, obviously the customers are coming to you because they liked your style in the first place, because they started
mhm.
buying from you because of your style. So then other people who also like the same style as Sass and Melody are going to also come to your shows because they know that's where they can get the style they love. And it makes you want to come back, right? When you know that that seller understands what you like and is watching out for things for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So sorry. What when you did your first show, what surprised you the most when you did your first show? Like, what was the biggest surprise for you?
So my first show was actually kind of funny. I feel like everyone has stories like this of like just all the things you didn't think about going wrong. But I
Yep.
remember like I thought my lighting was good, and then you see it on the camera and you're kind of just like, oh, okay, like it's a little dark in here. I really should have like planned that a little better. And I have like a closet, like a walk-in closet that I do my shows from. And I realized like, oh, my internet is not very fast in this room, and like you need really high speed internet when you're doing a Whatnot show. And so and then there was an audio problem, and I was just like, oh no, like I felt so ready, and then all of these things are happening. And so it made me really nervous because you want to do well and you want to look professional. I was like, oh, all of these things are going wrong. But then Sass was in my show, and even though like the sound was weird, she was like asking me about the items, and she bought a bunch of things, and like everyone in the chat was like really hyping me up and made me feel really good and made me want to come back and like learn how to do things better. So even though it was like a little stressful, my first Whatnot show was like a good experience, I'd say. It
That's
made me
awesome.
see that there's like a really nice community on here and there's like room to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that that's something that I hear all the time is when people did their first shows, and that happened to me too. I had like really like I had made so many mistakes with the lighting and the internet, the sound and everything. Like I had set up all these cool cameras, and I bought this really expensive microphone, and I had all these high end cameras, and I had lighting and everything, and it still wasn't right because you don't know until you actually do.
Yeah.
A lot of things you have to learn um, by making mistakes, and that's the beauty. Like I think that's the beauty of the Whatnot community is that people support you and will just be like, "That's okay." Like just keep going. Let's just keep going. We'll work through it. And yeah, does everyone stick around? No, but there'll be people who stick around. And yes, and as Sarsaparilla says, the rehearsal mode is really cool. The one thing about rehearsal mode though is that it doesn't give you a chance. Like one of the things that I would suggest for new sellers is to just do a private show with yourself, so you can kind of test everything out and invite one other person that even if it's your mom or your neighbor or your cousin Sally or a coworker or someone from Whatnot to come and just watch you do a private show to tell you, how's the sound, how's the lighting, how's the internet connection, because we can't see those things, right? We don't know until someone tells us. But that would be my suggestion. But yeah, so I'm glad you're not alone. I made the same mistakes. I made the same mistakes. So you do front facing most of the time, so you're forward facing to the camera.
Yeah, pretty much only forward facing. Yeah.
And did it feel natural right away to do that, or did it grow over time?
It didn't feel so unnatural. I think the part that I had to learn how to do a little better was engaging with the chat while you're streaming. And so I think for my first show, I just had my phone and I didn't have a second device. And so if I wanted to check the chat, I was having to come up really close, and I found it really difficult to focus on like, okay, I'm showing this now and I want to make sure I give the right measurements, and be able to answer questions. It felt like a lot to do at one time. But now I've learned, okay, I have my computer on the side, can read the chat, I can take my time and just make sure you're answering everyone, you're showing pieces, that was like the thing that was hardest to do, I think.
And I think that's really important, is to engage with the chat. It's
Mm-hmm.
as much as you possibly can. If someone is saying something, you should try your best to engage with them, unless
Mm-hmm.
they're saying something inappropriate, and then it's just best to ignore them. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, engaging with your chat is a really important part, especially when you're selling in the fashion category, because people are asking you questions.
Yeah.
And if you don't answer those questions in time, they're not going to bid. And you might, they might have been your bidding war, right? If they
Yeah.
had known the answer to the pit to pit in time, they might have been your bidding war.
Yeah.
Instead, it went for the starting bid, right? So always trying to, and it is a juggle to like hold stuff up and look over at a chat at the same time. It is a struggle. It becomes easier over time, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like a motor like a motor memory, like something you just have to practice doing, and you get better and better over time of being able to kind of chew gum and walk at the same time, as they say. um how do you describe the vibe of your shows? Like, what kind of vibe do you try to go for in your shows?
So I've been really experimenting with my shows. I do one every Monday night at home, and that one I feel like it's more laid back. Like I'm set up in my environment. I That's like a thrift haul first dibs show. So it's like
Nice.
everything that I curated for the week, I bring to Whatnot first. And even if I know like I could sell this in store for $100, I'm gonna take it to Whatnot and I'm gonna list it for 15. And I'm gonna let these people like have it first if they want it, because I do really appreciate them. And I feel like it's kind of like a show and tell. It's just like, look at this cool thing that I found. Here's everything you need to know about it. If anyone wants it, like, oh, I was kind of thinking of you, Sicilian baby, when I curated this. And it feels like I'm hanging out with friends, kind of.
Yeah.
So I really like that. And then I've also tried to do shows where it's just like a quick hour. Those ones tend to be like 2, 3, and you're relaxed. And then I've started to do shows where you load up the shop, you have everything listed, and you just run it for 10 seconds. And it's kind of like, okay, I want to just do this quickly. And because I'm trying to do 2, 3 shows a week, and it is a lot when you have a full-time job as well. So yeah, kind of experimenting with what the vibe and figuring out what my pacing is going to be on here. But I do really like slowing down, chatting with everyone, and just kind of hanging out and doing a little show and tell.
I love that.
Yeah.
Somebody is daring to walk their dog down the street. So and now they're all getting set off. Quick, I'm gonna ask a question and then I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
What is something you've learned about yourself through selling on Whatnot? Then I should mute.
Okay, that's a good question. I guess like I do kind of think of myself as pretty shy. I've always worked in like client facing jobs, but I mostly just like to interact with people one-on-one, because I find like sometimes group settings are a little stressful. It's hard to find your space. And with the Whatnot, it's made me kind of realize like, oh, you're not actually like nervous to engage with people. I've had a really good time like chatting with everyone and sharing things about myself. Like I used to think, oh, I don't want anyone to know like personal details about me, but on this community I've kind of realized like, oh, it actually is really fun to like engage and make friends online. So yeah, I guess I realized I'm not as shy as I thought I was. I'm able to do this.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And besides what you talked about with the lighting and that sort of thing, what was one thing you wish that you had known when you began selling on Whatnot, that if you could go back, besides the lighting and that sort of thing, what is one other thing that you wish you had known back then, that you could tell a new seller who's thinking of starting?
Yeah, so before I started selling, because I was really nervous about it, I did like read all of the guidelines, and I watched shows and like can ask questions, because the shipping aspect felt really intimidating. Like I was so nervous that I was going to put the dimensions in wrong, or the weight would be off, and it would cause a big issue, and you only have 5 alterations that you can make for free. So I was really nervous that I was going to mess up the shipping aspect of this. And I guess what I would suggest to new sellers is to make sure you're comfortable and just like read through how you're meant to do it first. But if you ask people questions and you try it, like it's not as scary as it seems. The shipping was like the biggest like hurdle for me that I felt was pretty intimidating, but I feel like it's not as complicated as it seems.
So do you use a custom shipping profile, or do you use Whatnot's shipping profiles?
I use Whatnot shipping profiles, but then I'd use custom when I need to, when it's like a strange size or shape. But for clothing, like it's pretty easy to package, I think, within the guidelines.
That's good to know. So, yeah. I mean, some people love using custom shipping profiles, but a lot of people are just very comfortable with Whatnot's shipping profiles, and it's what works for you, right? And I guess every seller has to find out what works best for them.
Yeah.
And with those 5 free adjustments, at least you've got 5 mistakes you can make each week without worrying too much. I'm going to just double check. Are there any questions from the floor? I don't see any questions yet. If you do have questions for Gabe, aka Duchess Vintage, let us know. Feel free to ask them. That's also, it's not just me asking questions. Melody says you're a master folder. Ooh.
I am. I do feel like I'm good at folding. I've always done retail, and I'm pretty good at folding it as efficiently as possible.
What do you think? So, again, going back to like mistakes that people make when they first start selling and worrying too much about like details. What do you think matters more than being perfect on camera? Like, what is the thing that you try to focus on?
So it's going to be different for everybody. Like, I would say what's true to me is like curating things that I love. And that's like, I don't want to be selling things that I don't like because I think they're popular, or I think that they might sell. Like for me, what brings me joy and what makes this sustainable is picking items that I love, that I would wear, that I'm excited for someone to be excited about. And so it's not necessarily a mistake. There's a lot of ways to do this, and ways that people enjoy curating and picking and reselling. But for me, when I've felt like, maybe I didn't make enough sales, and then I go in and look at a show that has a lot of success, I think, should I be curating things like this person is? Like, is this what I should be selling? But for me, that's a mistake. Like, what I want to do is sell to the people that appreciate the things that I see beauty in. So maybe not true for everyone, but that's kind of like one mistake that I wouldn't want to fall into.
Brilliant. So we do have some questions. So Jenny B. Wise is asking, I missed the lighting info. Could you recap for people who just joined? So tell us about how you do your lighting now. Maybe explain your lighting setup a little bit.
Sure.
For those who are thinking about it.
So the overhead lighting where I usually stream is horrible. And I don't actually have like a fancy lighting setup at all. But what I do, I have my ring light that I'm using right now. And then I have like 5 or 6 vintage lamps that I place around the room. Mm-hmm. And I like soft, warm lighting. So for me, maybe it's not the most professional like setup, but it feels really cozy. And I think that suits the show that I'm putting on and the items that I'm selling. And I like the effect of like having 3 or 4 lamps in the room. But I know that some people will have like a full lighting setup and it's nice and bright, and that looks really good too. So I think it depends on you and the space that you're working with. But there's a lot of ways to do lighting, just as long as you can see the color of the item, because that is important for clothing. You can see how it actually looks. I think there's a lot of ways you could do lighting.
Awesome. And then Closet Cove asks, can you explain what the 5 mistakes you were mentioning is about? So do you mean, so I guess maybe just recapping, what were those mistakes you made in your first show that you learned from?
Or are they asking about the 5 shipping adjustments?
Oh, it could be. You're right. The 5 free, sorry. Yeah, that. So 5 free, thank you. I'm glad you understood. Sorry. 5 free shipping adjustments. So every week, it resets it at 7 p.m., just 7:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Time, in the winter, and 8 p.m. in the summer. Don't ask me why. It goes with daylight savings time. Anyways, Sunday night it resets. You get 5 free shipping adjustments. So when Whatnot when Whatnot does the sale for you on an item that somebody buys, they charge the shipping at that time for that item. So at the same time, so they don't like check out at the end with like their box. There isn't like a cart that then people check out at the end. They're basically buying one thing at a time and it just keeps getting added to the box. So Whatnot charges them a certain amount calculated through their system to figure out what the price is going to be for the label, for that shipping label. Now, if the box size is bigger or is heavier than what was anticipated, then the cost of the label may be more than what the buyer paid Whatnot for shipping. And if that is the case, that is called a shipping adjustment. And the Whatnot allows for 5 free ones. So you get 5 free shipping adjustments where it doesn't cost the seller any extra for that label to be created. After the 5 free shipping adjustments, the seller does have to cover the cost, the additional cost to buy that label. Hey, Eastender. Good morning, Lexi. So that's your 5 free shipping adjustments. So if somebody is on the fence, if someone is on the fence, if someone is watching right now is on the fence about joining Whatnot and selling on Whatnot, what would you want them to know?
What would I want them to know? I think the best way to figure out if you like it is to just try it, honestly. You don't know how it's going to feel until you do it, but just know that it's not as like scary as it might seem, and that it can be really fun and rewarding. And then there's also different ways to sell too. So if you want to do less lives and just add things to your buy it now, like you have that option if you try going live and you don't love it. But yeah, I guess just give it a try. Like, you have so many resources. If there are things that you're worried about, you can join community chats like this and ask your questions. And there really is no rush to go live. Make sure that you feel prepared and ready. But even like I was saying with my first show, everything that I thought could go wrong kind of did, and it still was a successful show in my mind.
That's awesome.
You just have to, just try it when you feel ready.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love that answer.
Yeah.
Jenny, I'm gonna grab your question, but I'm just gonna answer Ren's Supplies for a second. Does rejecting an offer affect your account? No, it does not. You can reject an offer and it does not affect your account. You're all good. If you don't like the offer, you can say no. Jenny B. Wise asks, how do you hype up and attract viewers?
So I've tried a few things, and like we were talking about before, I think I have made some of those Whatnot mistakes where I'd done a few shows and I felt like, okay, like I'm kind of reaching this maximum number of viewers and buyers. Like, I want to try something different. And so I did 1 or 2 shows with dollar starts because I thought, like, I guess this is how you attract people on Whatnot. People like the dollar starts. They find it exciting. I tried doing those shows and it didn't work for me, and it didn't feel good. what I think works better, or what I have found more success with, is doing follower and buyer giveys. I kind of prefer to do the buyer giveys, to be honest, right now, because I'm still pretty small and new to this. And so it feels nice to reward people for hanging out for the whole show and put a nice little extra something in as a giveaway for people who, you know, did hang out with you and support you the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that. Debbie says new sellers should know more about the fees, the cost of shipping, materials, etc. Yeah, absolutely. The fees, cost of shipping, materials, and all that make dollar starts just the cost of shipping materials alone will eat up that 31 cents you made
Yeah.
off of that dollar start. And Angie said I would also say that that 1,000 items sold is not a race. It's your pace. It will come. So worry more about having a great sales experience rather than trying to chase that 1,000 sales. I agree with that, Angie. Jenny has another question. Thinking of traditional online selling, how has Whatnot bolstered your business?
Yeah, so I guess it's like given me confidence to try new things. Like I am not great with social media in general, but having all of this experience on camera has made me feel more comfortable, like filming silly little promos. And, you know, I started posting on TikTok to like try to draw people to Whatnot shows. And so it made me feel more comfortable, like trying new ways of promoting. And then it also has kind of like streamlined the way that I source. Because, like I mentioned, now, like after I do my thrifting, I bring everything to Whatnot first, and maybe I sell 25% of what I thrifted. And then the rest goes split between the two like in-store locations that I sell at. So it's allowed me to like to do this more full time. Like I have a schedule now, and I thrift twice a week. And I know that like even if it doesn't sell right away when it comes to the boutique, I can always make some sales on Whatnot to kind of offset that. So it's, you know, it's helped me keep a more strict schedule as I like transition to doing this as more of a full-time job.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. And Closet Cove asks, can you talk about how to set up the shipping for clothes? Like, do you just put in an estimated weight and dimension? What is the process? So talk us through your process. You use Whatnot's, for the most part, you use Whatnot's standard shipping profiles. So how do you go about that?
Yeah. So when I choose what items I'm going to sell in a show, I usually will have like maybe 50 to 100 things that I'm selling on a given show. I will weigh everything. And so then you know what class it's going to go into. And then you just have to keep track of like, oh, if it's a large sweater or a jacket, yes, I have the weight, but I have to be aware that like that is not going to fit into a 13 by 13. So you have to alter the size of the package. And I just make sure, or like if you're selling shoes, you know, obviously, okay, that's going to be a different dimension as well. So I just am setting different listings depending on the size of the item that I'm selling.
Yeah, brilliant. So, so Closet Cove, Whatnot has, when you set up an item, I'll show you really quickly. So when you create an item on Whatnot, why is it? It took me into Vintiquity's show for some reason. Afternoon Archives. Hi, Kylie. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. We're talking about fashion today. Welcome in, my friends. This is that's my snow daughter. Afternoon Archives. Let me allow to moderate so you can announce when your next show is. Welcome, welcome. So when you create a new item, so you create a product on Whatnot, and you go through, you take the pictures, and you do the category, yada, yada, and you get down to shipping. And then it gives you the option of shipping profile. Whatnot has a bunch of weight-based profiles. Now, what Duchess Vintage was talking about is that our box size right now is a little bit small. But you can choose, like, say, a jacket might weigh 1.5 pounds. So you would put that at 1 to 2 pounds. You can also do custom shipping profiles, which I won't go over today. I've got more information on my shipping on my YouTube channel. I have a show that's all about shipping that I did last Saturday. You can watch that on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is in my show notes and up in there in my bio and stuff. But if you use if you use Whatnot's profiles, when you're starting out, this is just a really easy way. And what you want to do is you're selecting the shipped weight. So you want to weigh the t-shirt. If the t-shirt weighs 14 ounces, but you know that when you put it in some tissue paper and the poly mailer and the thank you note, that's going to push it up to 16 ounces. Then you would select 1 pound or 1 to 2 pounds. So you want to select the shipped weight, but it's really simple. You just select the profile, you hit select, and that's it. If you're doing one listing at a time. If you're doing like random polls where you're not going to pre-list every single thing, which I assume that's what you do, Gabe. You do kind of like random polls instead of pre-listing everything from your thrift hauls.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what you want to do is have like categories. So you would do like small a lightweight item, which is and you would select 8 to 11 ounces, and then medium weight would be 12 to 15, and then not so medium weight, whatever we want to call it, large weight, heavy weight would be 1 to 2 pounds, and then extra heavy weight. And then you can just quickly weigh the item, just have a good old fashioned one of these, and then just weigh the item. And then you can just quickly select, okay, I'm going to use this one. And you just have these items are in your auction, and you just pick the one you want. So you put quantity like 1,000 of extra light clothing, extra light piece of clothing, quantity 1,000, and then you can just select that, run the next thing, select that, run the next thing. Yeah. Thank you again to Afternoon Antique Co. for the afternoon. See, I'm still calling you that. It's going to take me a year to figure that one out. Afternoon Archives for the raid. Thank you so much. I have stuff I'm going to show on Saturday that Kylie got me. So hopefully that helps. Okay. We have 6 minutes. So anyone else have any questions or anything that I've missed? If you want to ask our special guest, Duchess Vintage, a question, feel free to ask any question that you would like. And then we are going to be raiding into Melody, who's going to continue the conversation, but talk more fashion, because I don't talk fashion. Sarsaparilla says, didn't we once discover that the shipping was the same up to a certain weight, and you could put everything under that unless it's past the tip? We did figure out that up to anything under 16 ounces, the first item cost was the same. It's just a matter of if you're adding to the box, when you add that weight to the box, if it's a super lightweight thing like this, I would still put that at maybe at the most 4 to 7. Because so say you were doing accessories as well and you had ties, then I would do the ties at a lower level, because it's that first item. And then after that, as each item gets added to the box, that weight gets added to the box, and that dimensional weight makes it more and more expensive. So Jenny B. Wise has a question. What styles do you enjoy picking? Do you follow what's trending? And do you use keywords for styles when selling? Ooh, lots of questions there. So what styles do you enjoy picking, and do you follow what's trending? We'll start with that.
I think like no matter what, we're all kind of influenced a little bit by what's trending. But for me, what I pick, it's just kind of a feeling. It's if I look at it and I would want to wear it. So I prioritize things that are colorful. I love wearing bright colors, interesting patterns. I like natural fibers. So for me, it matters what the material is. I don't like wearing synthetic fibers too much. Like obviously there's some things that feel okay, but yeah, I care about the textile, and I care about where the garment was made too. So a lot of the time I like to source things that were made in Canada or things, you know, that were made in USA, depending on what the year was. But I think like those are things that are really important to me. The natural fibers, where it was made, and then I like things that are interesting, like whether they're asymmetrical or they have a fun print. They need to have something unique about them. So that's kind of what I try to curate is things that I would want to wear.
I love that. And do you use keywords for styles when you're selling? When you're listing, I assume.
No, or not. No, like I don't really use keywords. Maybe if I'm writing an accurate description and the word that I'm using to describe it is trending, I guess. Like if I have a leopard print top, I'm gonna write leopard print, and maybe that's trending right now. But I don't like go out of my way to write like hashtag whimsy fairy blah 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 blah. And I just like, this is an item. Here's an accurate description of like where it was made. I mean, to be fair, I do love whimsy and fairy and that whole very fun trend that's going on. So, you know, maybe sometimes those words find their way in there, but it's not like, oh, I need to add all of these hashtag keywords. It's just kind of if it's natural.
I love that. And just to show Closet Cove, I'm pulling up your profile. And if you look Closet Cove on Duchess Vintage's profile, you'll see the two products, which are those random pulls that I was talking about. So she has item on screen, and then she also has like jacket heavy. So it's just a random item on screen that she's pulling up from her shows on Mondays. Oh, look at that cute little corset top. Oh, I'm going shopping now. I'll be back. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm busy shopping now. Look how cute these all are. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think keywords are important for more for static listings than I think. I mean, if you were doing a show and it was going to be all whimsy, then obviously you'd want to put whimsy in your show title so that people can find you. The more detail you can put into your description, if you're having an item you know is going to sit in your store for your whatnot store for a while, descriptions are great. So I think the one thing that I love about whatnot, you can disagree with me if you want, but the one thing that I love about whatnot is the flexibility. That if I wanted to do a curated show, which I don't often want to do, but that's just me. If I want to do a curated show, I can do a curated show. And if I don't have to, right? Like there's so many, like if I just wanted to just do random and pull out of boxes, I can. But then if I wanted to do a very specific show, I could do that as well. If I wanted to just have auctions, I could just do auctions. If I wanted to do all buy it now, I could do that. I love that flexibility. Oh, that's a good question, Sarsaparilla has. How do you feel about the prices you can get in your shop compared to the prices you feel you can get on here? Be honest. It's okay.
So I like having different different ways that I can sell my items, to be honest. And I know like sometimes you might get a lower price on whatnot than in store. Like I'm going to do a show later here, and some of the items in my shop are items that I have listed. And for example, like, okay, I have this little Simon Chang lace top in perfect condition in the store. I have it at 30, which is a reasonable price. But on whatnot, I would be comfortable selling this for 15 because I have rent to pay here. I have, you know, hours that I'm working. There's a lot of other costs that go into a physical retail space. And for whatnot, I need to have my phone, my whatever, my setup, but I can do it out of my house at no additional cost to me. It's just, you know, my time that I spend doing the listings and the packaging and the show. But beyond that, there's no additional cost. So I'm okay selling things for a little bit less. And I kind of like being able to do that and give good deals to the people that like consistently come to my show. I like having those options. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of people, you can see it, Whatnot is like your clearance aisle. If you have other platforms and other ways that you sell, like in person, then you can use it as your clearance aisle. Or I love your idea of like, before I go through all the work to tag it and everything else
Mm-hmm.
and get it ready for, and then drag it all the way over to this. I mean, your schedule is a little bit different, but for me, even though I'm about 3 minutes, if I don't hit the light in town, we only have one traffic light. If I don't hit the one traffic light, it's only 3 minutes to get to the market.
Yeah.
But like, just even that, like taking it there, tagging it, getting it into the place, putting it there, and then waiting for who knows how long before it sells, right?
Yeah.
It could fly off the shelves, or it could sit there for months. And you never know, because you don't know who's going to come in and go shopping there. As Thrifting with ADHD says, Whatnot is fast money. It allows you to not hold inventory, waiting for that top dollar that may never come. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can just sell it on Whatnot. And as you said, you're finding that about 25% of what you thrift in a week ends up going out the door through Whatnot. And that's fast money.
Yeah.
So might be lower margins, but also faster money. And that's how big businesses I mean, we don't want to be Walmarts and Home Depots and all that, but the reason why they're so big is because they go on the, high sell through, low margins, volume sales. And
Yeah.
so if it works for them, it can work for us in a less capitalistic way, right? Jenny B. Wise has another question. We have to go for a few extra minutes because Melody has to get a couple of things ready. So she's going to let us know when she's ready. Jenny asks, no worries, Melody. How are you sourcing as prices rise at thrift stores? Ooh, that's a good question.
So for reselling, I try to exclusively source from distribution centers. So I go to the bins and I buy things shop by weight. I obviously like love thrifting and I still go to the regular thrift stores all the time. But as I try to like do this as a business, I'm a little bit more strict on myself of not picking things from the thrift stores to resell unless they're like a really good item that I know is going to sell right away.
Mm-hmm.
And another like big factor in why I like doing this is when you take from the distribution center, that's would be shipped off to another country and thrown in a landfill and be trash. So I'm saving things that maybe other people don't see value in. And, it's also made me practice my sewing skills a lot because often you find things with crazy stains or rips and it makes you like really appreciate the garments and be like, okay, like I see value in this. So it's worth it for me to like dig through, find it, sew it up, stain treat it, and then sell it. Yeah. Missing buttons or the smallest flaw and it becomes trash to most people. And so what I like is saving that item that, was made 40 years ago with love and can be loved again. It just needs to, be treated and repaired a little bit. So that's kind of where I like to source is from the bins.
That's awesome. Yeah, I miss the bins. We used to go to the bins 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
30 years ago, I used to go to the bins in Toronto. At the Goodwill in Toronto, there used to be bins.
Yeah.
And when we were in London, I think London, Ontario still has bins.
Ooh.
But I don't know. It's been like 28 years since I've been in London. So 28 years. They still do. So there's not many bins around in Ontario anymore. It sucks. Closet Co asked, what's the best time to do shows? So I did pin down below the when to go live. My answer is that these statistics that I show here this is old data, but this is North American data. from a couple of years ago. It hasn't changed that much. This is in Pacific time. So if, depending on where you live, add the number or take it away, whatever you need to. Oh yeah, there's one in North York. It's a for-profit one, right? So there's a dip at around just after midnight, and then it starts to rise again. And then the busiest time is from about 7 p.m. onwards. So the evening schedule. Day of the week, Mondays is the biggest dip. This is what I will say though. It means jack all. Because if you're a newer seller and you go when you think, oh, there's more people on Whatnot, but there's also more sellers on Whatnot at that time. So there are more shows for them to go into. The best time for you to go live, Closet Cove, is the best time for you. So if Monday mornings work best for you, ignore the chart. Go live on Monday mornings and stay consistent. And then if you find, I'm going to adjust, I'm going to try, instead of Monday mornings, I'm going to do Monday afternoons, and you find that that works better for you, then you do Monday afternoons. And if you find like, I don't want to do Mondays, I'm going to try Wednesdays, or I'm going to try Saturdays. I think, and I don't know what you think, Gabe, but I think that if you try to like follow trends and follow, statistics, you're so busy chasing that, that you exhaust yourself. It just becomes completely exhausting. So go live when it's best for you, and the sales will follow from that. But remain consistent. More viewers on means more sellers are on. So it's like 6 of one, half dozen another. Sure, there might be more people on, but there's also more sellers on. And if you're not well established yet, and am I going to go into a new person's show, or am I going to go into Leah? If Leah's on, I'm going to probably pop in and visit Leah for a bit, and I might go over to the new person's show, but I'll probably go back to Leah because I know her and I'm comfortable there, right? So I think, and also, but also at the same time, don't try to avoid people. I remember when I first started on Whatnot, I was like, oh, I can't go on at that time because so-and-so's on, and I can't go on at that time because that person's on. And it's one thing because you don't want to go on at that time because you're going to go hang out with them because you want to be in there, watch their show. But it's another thing if you're like, I'm not going to go on because they're on and I don't want to compete with them. I think you need to just discover the time that's best for you and stick with it and try it out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
No, I definitely.
Other people say what they feel. Any other questions for Duchess Vintage before we raid into Mel? Mimic says the endless trying to go live spiral. I mean, there were times when I'm like, oh, I can't go live because Allie's going to be on a half hour after I start. Well, why not do something instead where you say to your friend who's going to go on around the same time as you, is like, whichever one of us finishes first, let's raid into the other one, right? Why not support your friends that way? There's all kinds of ways you can do it without feeling like you're competing against each other. And there are lots of viewers now on Whatnot. It is not like there isn't enough room for us. At one point in Whatnot Canada, I think it felt like there was like 25 of us all hanging out in the same shows, but it's not like that anymore. Mimic says it's us trying to convince ourselves not to go live because we're afraid. Why can't we be friends? We are all friends. Angie says if I go live, I get no viewers as they're on the popular shows. Well, you can always see if you can organize where one of their shows maybe raids into you. I mean, Time Hop Treasures would message me all the time and ask, what time are you on today? Are you going to do your show today? And if so, will you raid into me? And sometimes I said I couldn't because I'd already planned to raid somebody else, but she got a lot of raids that way from a lot of people because she just asked. Mm-hmm. Just ask. Well, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Someone says no. As long as you're nice about it and you're not demanding, why not ask? Do you mind? Dave! Hello, Dave from Alberta. How are things there? Are you also at minus 40,000 degrees today. Is it also super cold? Do they even let kids go to school in that weather? I guess they have to, or you'd never learn anything out there. Oh, wait. That may explain things. -30. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Dave, I'm coming to Alberta next month for the Canadian Pinball Championship.
Ooh, that's right. She's a pinball champion. She's a pinball wizard. We did have a bus day due to wind chill.
Yeah, in Sherwood Park.
Oh my gosh.
February.
I remember Sherwood Park. There's a really great Rotary Club there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm thrifting too. I've never been to Alberta before, so I'm pretty excited to go. I'm gonna try to thrift while I'm there.
Look for Western wear.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Pulling Lives like, let's go thrifting. You've been to the pinball thing? That is so cool.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
Jenny said we have a guy who does that here in Mitchell. That is so cool. And Pulling Live is in Edmonton. There you go. Yay! I did do my Western show. I still have some items that I didn't sell. I did do the Western show and I sold four items. There weren't a lot of items. There were like 12 items. Yeah, there's definitely a few in that area that will go thrifting with you when you're out there. So just let us know in the group chat on the Discord, and I'm sure we have a whole bunch of people. Yeah, Pyrex with Brett Bex, the thrifty. Hey, there's the Thrifty Fox Shop. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if Melody is on yet. Oops, what am I doing?
I saw she popped up. She's gone live.
Okay, perfect. So Melody, there she is. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to go over and continue the conversation over with Melody. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I'll see you over in Melody's show. Everyone, please follow Duchess Vintage and go check out her show on Mondays where you can see her latest thrift hauls and get first dibs on them. I love you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's go over there now. You bought 30 thermal printers. Oh, that's cool, Mimics. Oh, dear. Okay, I love you guys. Let's go. Bye for now.